You may have recently seen a little video clip of a couple sitting at Cane's in Louisville.
Was it Cane's? Okay.
It was Cane's,
Okay.
Louisville, Kentucky, when an armed robber came in to rob the place at gunpoint.
What do you do?
What do you do? What do I do? So, let's talk about this. Circumstances vary differently. They were husband and wife. They happened to be police officers together.
Off duty?
Off
right?
duty. They were both carrying, which kudos to them because
Right.
too many cops do not carry off duty. It's a shame.
Really?
And they acted, yeah, it's crazy. Boggles my mind. And they went after the guy, chased him out of the restaurant, and ended up apprehending him.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good things to take away from the video and shows the importance of training. And then there are some things that we really couldn't see on video that it's worth the talk, worth the brief discussion,
Right.
right? Should we find ourselves in that situation?
Cool.
So, Luke's a civilian. I'm a police officer. I think what we would do is maybe differs a little bit,
Yeah, for sure.
but also depends on the situation we're in. I'm usually at
Who you
Cane's.
with?
Yeah, who am I
You
with?
with your family, by yourself, just
Exactly.
your wife, right?
Right.
So let's take a look at the video, and then we'll go through a few talking points.
Bam.
This dude's walking in. He's got a mask on, gun in his pocket.
Yeah, you don't see the gun right away. He just kind of got a hand on something, pulls the gun out. Super, like, just, I don't know what he's
Flipping it
doing. He's like
around.
flipping around. At one point, he tries to rack the slide.
I think he almost drops it here in a second. There. Then he racks it. He's telling her to hurry up, obviously, or something like that. He's beating on the counter. And I think it's about to cut to the
Yeah.
off-duty cops.
Yep.
That's them sitting in the back.
They're in the
She
back
pulls
corner.
first.
Yep, yeah. She draws her gun while seated, and they're slow. There's some stuff to talk about there. I like how they reacted. She actually pushes all the way to the left, kind of flanking him, so they open up their fields of fire.
He runs off. They go out. And then this guy comes in to get his chicken.
Yeah.
So it was like a minute and 4 seconds. So it happened pretty quick.
Yep.
You know,
No shots fired.
no shots fired, and they got him outside. So talk about where they were sitting. They were in the back. They could see the whole restaurant. They didn't have their backs to anything from what we could see, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. You know, the whole like kind of cliche thing of, you know, always sit with your back to a corner or wall and make sure you can see all the exits.
Right.
Well, there's a reason for that. You know, what if there was another bad guy? What if he had an accomplice?
Right.
That happens. There have been circumstances where they're not just there to rob just the register, they're there to rob all the patrons as well.
Right.
So they're in a good, tactically advantageous position to kind of own the entire restaurant
Right.
from that corner.
Even if there's another exit toward the back of that store, her back might be to it, but
They own
the
it.
husband's got that covered.
Absolutely,
right?
right. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, you know, same kind of rules for CQB apply. After you get through your threshold, through the fatal funnel, what do you direct your attention to next? Your deep corner.
Right.
And then you push down, strong wall, limited penetration, you've got the whole room covered. And it's kind of the same concept. They're in a corner, which is theoretically a point of domination to maintain situational awareness on the entire, you can't see this hand, on the entire restaurant.
Gotcha. Cool. So obviously, they see what's going on. They decide they're going to act. It's not going to happen on their watch.
Right.
She draws, he draws, and then they go after him. So they're off-duty cops. Do you have, like, if that's you, do you think, like, you have to go do that if you see something like that, or does that depend?
If
Depending on
I'm
your
not with
family?
my family, yes,
Right.
I'm going. If I'm with my family, they're my number one concern. And after I get them secured or to safety, then I will go do work. But
Right.
not until then.
Right.
And not until they're 100% safe. If anything, I wait there. If the dude turns and directs his attention to me or to us, then I'm just going to smoke him
Right.
immediately.
When I saw it, I'm thinking I probably wouldn't have ran after him. I'm all the way in the back. Maybe, do I have another exit over here in the back? Maybe
Right.
I could scoot out of.
Right.
Possibly pull my gun so I have it ready.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that? But I'm
sure.
probably not going to run after him whether I'm with my family or not. I don't want to shoot somebody.
And
he-
look-
unless he was turning to come rob everybody else in the store.
Of course.
right?
Now he's directing his attention to you, and he becomes a lethal threat
right.
directly to you.
Or
Yeah,
if
you need
he
to be
did
ready
shoot
to go.
somebody, or I don't know.
But let's
Yeah.
harp on the prepping.
Okay.
If you noticed, she did not move. She did not jump. Neither of them jumped up.
Right.
Was there a 1 second draw and shot in there?
Nope.
That's all the rage, right?
Right.
Oh, you got to be able to draw and fire in 1 second.
Less than a second.
Less than a second. Yeah. You see all this super fast, high speed whiz bang stuff on
I tried
on
for
YouTube.
it. Right.
And look,
So-
I'm not saying you shouldn't train it, right?
Right.
You've got to be efficient and quick with your draw and first round target. But at the same time, you've got to have more tactical awareness in certain situations. None of them moved quickly.
Right.
Neither of them moved quickly. They both drew from a seated position, getting their pistols ready. And then they kind of moved slowly while his attention was directed to the cashier
Right.
to gain a tactically advantageous position.
Basically, you need to decide before this happens, are you going to draw your gun? Or are you going to go after somebody before you're in that situation, basically? Like, have your mind made up. When are you willing to use your gun? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, same concept for me and you. If I'm there with my family, I'm not trying to apprehend him, right? I'm trying to protect my family. My pistol will very slowly come out. It'll be on my lap. I may get up slowly and tell my wife to take my kids to the bathroom, right?
Okay.
If he
right.
directs his attention, my gun's out, and I'm going to do what I need to do.
Right.
By myself, or you and I are sitting there getting some chicken after a hard day of jiu-jitsu, because they
Yep.
fried chicken, it's good. I may say, hey, dude, hang on. And I'm going to go after him, right? Hey, dude, call 911.
Right.
Tell him what I'm wearing, and I'm going to go get him. But again, you know, I'm a law enforcement officer, so
Right.
not that I necessarily have that duty to act, but I do. And I personally have it as well.
Right. Which is why when you sent me the video in the first place, I was hesitant to do a breakdown video because I haven't done any LEO breakdowns, incidents, or whatever, because I'm not a cop. So that's why we're doing it together, basically.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's it.
you're a cop. It's for a cop.
It's for a cop. It's Leader Cole.
Double Bacon cheeseburger. It's for a cop. Roger.
So let's go into kind of, you could tell that they've been trained,
Right.
right? He gets up. He basically starts beeline it straight for the guy.
Right.
She gets up and immediately moves offline.
Right.
So they open up their fields of fire and they start kind of almost they're basically setting up an L-shaped ambush.
Right.
Right, so they open up their fields of fire. Now neither of them are in the line of fire of each other, should it turn into a gunfight.
Right.
And they've got two people on one person.
Right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's
So
training. It's
if you and your wife are carrying, you should be training that type of stuff, right?
if
Like,
you're both carrying, yes,
Right, for sure.
absolutely.
So-
You know, two guns in the fight versus
obviously
one.
they're both cops. They've done this, but you
Exactly.
can do it with your wife as well, or your significant other.
We don't discriminate here.
One thing you mentioned, it looked like she might have been lagging behind a little bit. You know,
Yeah, so one of the important things, if you guys are moving in depth, it's pretty important to either remain separated far enough to where you're not in either fields of fire,
Right.
or you stay on line for the most part. Now, in the video, it's hard to see what they were doing. He drew his pistol with his right hand and set something down on the table with his left, and then
Right.
got up.
And it looked like she grabbed it.
touched it or grabbed it or did something with whatever he set down on the table. Now, I don't know. Maybe it was a cell phone. Maybe she was hitting 911. Maybe I don't know what she was doing. And I'm not really critiquing her. What we're using it is just as a teaching point. What it did was it slowed her down. And now she was playing catch up and running to catch up to get online.
Right.
She did a good job of accelerating to get up there, but there was a bit of a time where she was a bit behind and aiming on an angle toward the register.
Right.
Had it turned into a shootout, had the bad guy started firing at the husband, maybe he moves to the side and now he's in her line of fire, right?
Right.
So it is important when you are moving like that you guys stay on line with each other so you don't end up cutting down each other's fields of fire.
Gotcha. So then they obviously chase the guy out the door and apprehend him, but as concealed carriers, once he's fleeing, runs out the door, your job's done.
Call
pretty
not-
much,
call-
right? If you pulled your gun and went after
Yeah,
him.
job's not done. Call 911.
Call 911,
Be a
right.
good witness. Hey, he was wearing a black sweatshirt. He had a white face mask on.
Right.
You know, whatever shorts he was wearing. Be a good witness. Start looking at what he's wearing.
But don't run out the door chasing after him, right? I mean, that's not your job.
That's not your job. I personally wouldn't recommend it. You don't know what he's capable of. You don't know, what he's going to do. You don't know what his skill set
shoot
is.
at the door,
Or he just
right?
turns around
The
and
fatal
kind
funnel,
of. That's
right?
right. Yeah, he's waiting. He runs out the door and he's turning and waiting there to ambush you.
Right.
You never know.
And then going out the door, we couldn't really see what she did with her gun, but we wanted to talk about, muzzle control.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, these are just considerations. We have to look at all these instances and use them as teaching points. We could not see what the wife did with her pistol as far as a carry position. And I'm not saying that she did anything wrong, because I can't see.
We can't see that front
Right.
angle. She could have
Exactly.
brought it down to low ready or
Right.
or
Yeah,
what is it?
Sewell, position
Sewell
Sewell, low ready. She could have gone a low ready, position Sewell. There's a variety of things that she could have done. We don't know what she did because we can't see. So for all you keyboard commandos out there that like flaming me, which I love too. I love reading it, by the way. I'm not critiquing her. We're using it as a teaching point.
Right.
If you are moving to a choke point where you have one of your buddies or a good guy in front of you, you have to know what to do with your muzzle. You do not want to muzzle sweep them. Obviously, the 4 cardinal safety rules are there for a reason. They become extremely important when you start working in a close quarters environment, in a 360-degree
That's
environment.
what we were doing last weekend.
Right, exactly, which is what we were doing. You could see how difficult it can get.
Right.
It's a lot easier when you're on a square range and the targets are only right in front of you. So there's a bunch of different carry positions that you've got to become familiar with and become comfortable with. The gun should be an extension of your hand. You should always know where your muzzle is pointing. And we're not going to make this a training thing.
Right.
You got to go out and get training on it. But you have a multitude of different ready positions. You've got just straight old school low ready where you're aimed in at the ground. And that can vary depending on the distance of your partner in front of you.
Okay.
Right? You have position Sewell where you're basically rotating the gun straight down. Right? And then you have thumb temple index, where you can bring the pistol up and glue the second knuckle of your thumb right to your temple and glue it straight to your head. Have that actual touch point, reference point, so your muzzle's up, you can move through, you can open a door, you can manipulate things, and then come straight back down.
Gotcha.
Those are not the only positions you can have a gun in. Look, if you're running out the door, you can literally just turn the gun kind of in front of you this way if there's no good guys there, and your husband, your wife's in front of you, and when they peel the corner and turn, you can come back out on target.
Right. Kind of like you said when we were doing here, coming
Exactly.
around the corner.
Right, exactly. So you just got to be aware of your muzzle and build that pistol as an extension of your body.
Right. Cool. I think that covers all the talking points. Anything else?
I'd like to say I think they did a terrific job.
Right.
Kudos to them for both carrying, right? Not just the husband, but the wife as well. Kudos to them for obviously taking it somewhat seriously. From what we heard, they had good guns on them as well.
Right.
Right.
Hellcats.
Yeah.
Springfield Armory
These little
Hellcats.
Springfield Armory Hellcats, which is a badass little EDC or
12
concealed
rounds.
carry pistol.
That's what I've been carrying for the past few weeks.
So kudos to them. Job well done. They apprehended the bad guy. No one got hurt. And, hesitation kills.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. If you like this video and you like this kind of content, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos, and hit the like as well. And we'll see you in the next one. Later.
Basically, they're setting up like an L shape. Excuse me. They're basically bang.
Yeah, that's good. See you in the next one. Later. That's awesome.